And do this. Okie dokie. So I got a new computer this week. Hi, Thomas. Out of default for mine breaking down on Monday, 14 minutes before I was about to do a training online. So, so now everything works again. My speakers work, everything now works. It was a computer, yeah. Yep. They picked it up Monday afternoon and we had it Tuesday morning already.
Did you get it? Misty just sent it to me.
She's talking to So
Yes, just
this
trust me.
is whatchamacallit. I have to, this is too crowded. Thank you. I just got them.
Look at the rabbits, Lenny. Look at the rabbits.
Huh?
Make sure you mute yourself.
I had a horrible headache yesterday. It turned out to be sinuses. I took a migraine pill in the morning, or my migraine medicine, and then by the afternoon I was dying. And like literally my whole right side, even my neck was throbbing. Like everything on this right side was throbbing. So I found a sinus pill in my desk. I took it and then everything started getting better. And then I just ended up going to bed like 8:30 because the pills then made me so tired. Then today I was fine, but yeah.
Well, the weather, you're gonna have that.
Yeah. Advil, cold and sinus over the counter. You have to get them behind the counter. The best things ever. Like they're like Advil, cold and sinus. It's a red box, but it's behind the counter. So you have to ask for, you have to give your license. I guess it must contain something that's either addictive or that people sell. I don't have no
They can
idea.
make meth out of it.
Sudafed, I take all the stuff now, you gotta get your driver's license.
No, just behind the counter.
Did you see the Boston Marathon, miss?
No.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, I know. I can't even imagine. I did 3 miles and I'm like, that was good. My body hurt.
A lot of people finished this year, it was a pretty big event.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Honestly, that's 26 miles is the marathon, 26 miles. So, Priscilla, have you ever ran a marathon?
I have.
I knew you did. We're just two. Good for you.
I was like,
Yeah, it doesn't matter, right? It really doesn't matter. My daughter's 20 something and she would think I was crazy if I said, you should prepare to run a marathon. She'd be like, oh, okay, I don't think so. But anyway. No. Jerry was just talking about the Boston Marathon.
oh,
That's
right.
why. And then you just happened to walk in, so I thought it was appropriate. So anyway, good morning, everyone. I know this week and last week between spring breaks and schools out and all those things, and Morris County seemed to be split up. Half of the schools were off last week and half of them were off this week, which I thought was strange, but anyway, it is what it is. So that's what's going on the last 2 weeks. It's a little bit slower in the office. Hopefully it'll get back to business soon. Okay, let me find where I'm putting this thing. All right, started. If I can. There we go. So if you don't have a few scars from the battle of business, you haven't taken enough swings. This business will knock you down over and over and over again. It does not care if you've been in the business 5 minutes, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years. It's the same thing. You're dealing with the public, you're dealing with different personalities, you're dealing with the largest emotional and financial transaction most people have in their lifetime, all in one deal.
That's not for the weak and weary.
It is not for the weak and the weary, it is not for the weak of heart, not at all. So you have to take enough swings, possibly too scared to try the stuff that really moves the needle. So that's really where most of us are challenged on a daily basis, right? Because the things we have to do on a daily basis are very, very uncomfortable for the masses, not just for real estate agents, for people in general, right? Because we've all had some type of rejection in our life. And so when we think about making phone calls and we think about that rejection coming out, that fear stops us from doing what we're supposed to do, right? And that's one of the biggest ways for us to build our business. So remember, it's not supposed to be easy. Those battles and scars are just part of the journey of business. So remember that every single day. Put this up, hang this up somewhere. Remember, you're no different than everybody else. It's how you run your day that makes you different than everybody else, right? Because we all have the same fears. We all have the same challenges, especially in real estate, right? It's so difficult because it's not like you come in each day and they say, Carol, okay, from 9 to 10, you're going to make phone calls. From 10 to 11, you're going to go onto your database and add 3 people. I could say that to you, but you don't have to do anything I say. So that's the difference. Yeah. We're starting with you, Nance, next week. You're going to be our pilot. So, so when you have a 9 to 5 job and you go in and they tell you what to do, you do it if you want to keep that job, right? Otherwise, they could just replace you with someone else. And it's very hard to stay motivated every day. It really is. I remember those days. I was no different than you guys. It was extremely, extremely hard. You have these great runs of where you're like, I got it. I'm, everything's going. And then something knocks you down and like a week, 2 weeks, you're down and you have to slowly build yourself up again. But there's also no business like this where you have an unlimited financial ceiling, where you have the ability to have a different day every single day. I mean, there's so many great things about our business. But it is a lifestyle. It is a lifestyle, right? It's not something that you can do, from 9 to 5 every day. It really takes over your life. We all know that. So again, just a little reminder. So I just wanted to go over with you some of our numbers compared to other offices. I think that's always nice to see in our region, obviously. So in our region, the top 4 offices out of 16 are Sparta, which always reigns #1. I mean, Andrew runs his office so well that even at 100 agents, he squeezes as many of them each month that could do business. He probably has like 55 who do business a month. Like that's huge in any sales business, right? In any sales business to have that many. So Andrew does a good job of that. Morristown and Westfield. So those are usually our competition when we're looking at numbers each month. So I don't know if you could, okay, you can't see. Okay. So in March, now the smaller offices like Roxbury, Chatham, Madison, Hamburg, Vernon, those offices, just to give you a little bit of idea, are easier in a time like this to meet their objectives. Their objectives might be 5 units a month. Our objectives are 71, right? So it's a really huge difference. So Roxbury had a great month in March. That was his listing objective met. We met 100% of our listing objective, which I think is great. That was really amazing in a market where we have low inventory, right? So that was really great. You guys did an amazing job. And we did beat Sparta. We did beat Morristown, and we did beat Morristown had 51% of their objection, and Westfield was they were at 113, so they were higher. And then as far as actual listings in March, Sparta had 51. Again, we have 115 agents. They have about 100. So, a huge number. Just to think about how many agents are productive in their office. We had 31, Westfield 26, Chester 21. So, not a bad month for us. I think we're still on our objectives from last year, okay? So they haven't changed those numbers yet. Listings, year-to-date listings through March, Sparta has 116, almost double what we have, and we're number 2 at 66. So again, just very interesting. Morristown 62, Chester at 52. Just to get an idea of where everybody's at. Percentage of year-to-date listings objective met through March. We are at 80% of our listings for year-to-date, from January, February, and March. Again, in this market where it's so challenging to get a listing, right? I still think that's really, really a great number. Actual sales in March. Now this chart is done differently. I don't know why. Heather was doing them based on number 1 down. And on this one, she did it based on alphabetical order. So, so they're not so you can't look at the top and say, oh, they're the top, because they're not. So actual sales in March, we had 22, Sparta had 38. Old Bridge is another really big office. They probably have like 100. They probably have about the same as us, I'm gonna guess. Morristown had 23, Mountain Lakes had 23, so those are the offices around us. Percentage of sales objective met in March. We were at 71%. So that's the sales that we brought in. So if you had a listing that sold or you brought in a sale, those are sales objectives. And just to go over that for a minute, when we talk about, when we do our awards each month, I know this is so totally confusing to so many people. So our awards are based on when you hand in your file till Savannah. Okay, so if you hand in a sale and a listing for April, that counts towards the awards that we present next month for the month of April. It's not when your transaction closes. That's where people get confused. They're like, I closed 3 deals this month and I wasn't on the board, and it's not when it closes, it's actually when you hand in that file that it counts, okay? So if you hand it in for May, but it was closed, or you took it in April, it's not going to count in May because it wasn't a May sale. It was an April sale, right? So again, remember that if you're not, when you're handing in your paperwork.
Because if it falls apart, it's 2 different credits.
You do. So it's true. So the way it works, Carol's absolutely right. Carol's sharing all our secrets. So if you had a deal and you handed it in, and then it fell apart next week, and then it fell through, and then someone else came in, and then you handed that in. Now you have 2 sales for the month, even though it's actually 1, but it counts as 2 for awards, just the way the numbers work. So,
But we don't expect everybody to do that.
yes, please don't. It's happening organically right now because buyers are getting cold feet so quickly. So, I mean, it's happening really quickly. And so like where last year, we probably have double the fall throughs already this year than we did last year, just because the buyers are getting cold feet within a few days, backing out, then they're going to back up number 2. A week later, back up number 3. I mean, one of our listings, Catherine in Parsippany is going on their 3rd offer right now. I mean, just, it's just a really volatile market, and buyers are, they're realizing at some point, sometimes that maybe they pay too much, or maybe it's not, they should move forward. So, and then year-to-date sales through March, we were number 3. This is in number order again, okay? At 63. So we're having a great year still. I mean, we're still on top. That's all that matters. When I came here 4 years ago, you guys said, I think Carol specifically, I want to be number 1 again. That's what she said. I want this office to be number 1 again. So we've always been consistent on top. And then revenue units for March, we were number 4. Percentage of revenue units. There's a lot of it. Year-to-date revenue units. Year-to-date percentage of revenue units. We can do it in a lot of different ways, as you can see here. All right, so right now I'm going to share with you a 5-minute video. Does everybody know who Aram Manishan is? He's a president of Weichert. He actually is credited in Weichert for building the relocation company to where it is today, when it's top in the country. Okay, just to give you an idea. So he's now oversees a lot of our all under one roof, and how do we bring our agents and get our agents more involved and make them feel more important? You know, because we're always doing things for the clients. How can we put our agents first and make them feel that they're important to us as well? So anyway, I'm just going to share a quick video from him. And I think it's really important because it really explains in a great way when we talk about being at the top of the market and what does that mean. He has a great way of explaining it. So that's why I thought it was a great thing to share with you now. Because I have a new computer, I'm expecting everything is going to work fabulously. Let me get rid of this. I might have to change my settings.
Having recently assumed the leadership responsibility for
One
White
second,
Control-
Aram. Gotta change my speaker.
Having recently assumed the leadership responsibility for Weikert's real estate
You know,
segment,
I'm gonna
I
unplug
felt
this
it was
one right
important to
now.
provide Weikert sales associates with an update concerning current market conditions and the best strategies available to serve your customers and grow your business. Before I proceed with the main topic, I want to congratulate Denise Smith on her pending retirement and thank her for the numerous contributions she has made to the real estate segment. I felt it was important to provide Weikert sales associates with an update concerning current market conditions and the best strategies available to serve your customers and grow your business. Before I proceed with the main topic, I want to congratulate Denise Smith on her pending retirement and thank her for the numerous contributions she has made to the company over the past 33 years. We will certainly miss her steady hand and sage advice. I know we were all hoping for a more stable market this year following two of the most chaotic and unpredictable years in the real estate industry's history in 2020 and 2021. Despite those wishes, 2022 is turning out to be even more challenging for a host of different reasons. The confluence of hyperinflation, rising mortgage interest rates, and an unprecedented listing shortage presents serious risks to the achievement of your current year business plans. Add in the most concerning geopolitical event in the past 40 years, and you quickly realize that a proactive sales plan and strategies is an absolute necessity to successfully compete in this phase of the market cycle. I use the term market cycle deliberately because we are in the last stage of what Jim Weikert refers to as the 17-year real estate cycle. While Jim's picture is worth 1,000 words, I want you to be able to explain the cycle to your customers with confidence so you can educate them about their unique options and opportunities. This 17-year cycle started in December 2007 with the onset of the Great Recession. Over the next 4 years, prices depreciated sharply, eventually hitting bottom at the end of 2011. 2012 ushered in the second phase of this cycle, an 8-year run of steady price appreciation averaging just under 10%. March 2020 marked the 2-year COVID phase. Despite an initial 3-month period of steep decline, the market unexpectedly reversed course and prices skyrocketed at an average of 22% per annum, twice the rate of the previous 8 years, and 4 times the average historical price appreciation. Those events brought us to the current period Q2 2022, which Jim has boldly proclaimed to be the top of the market. But wait, you say, don't we still have 3 years of an appreciating market ahead of us? Under most normal market cycles, you would be correct. However, this market cycle is likely to be different for 2 very important reasons. First, the excess demand during the COVID phase likely pulled transaction volumes forward, depleting listing inventory levels, resulting in a very unhealthy imbalance between demand and supply. We have been experiencing this mini phase for the past 6 months. Second, the steady rise in both consumer inflation and mortgage interest rates, combined with the unnatural spike in housing prices, is anticipated to negatively impact buyer demand due to declining affordability. This is the phase we are moving toward today. The danger we face is a prolonged period of inventory shortages accompanied by declining demand. That scenario presents a very challenging combination: declining prices and lower unit transactions. I want to emphasize one very important point. By calling the top of the market, Jim is not suggesting a real estate recession is imminent or even likely. What he is saying is that price appreciation will almost certainly slow down, level off, or even modestly depreciate. All of these outcomes would be good for your business and prolong the 17-year cycle. Now that we have covered the real estate cycle and positioned you as the market expert, let's talk about what you should do with this knowledge to grow your business. First, you need to perform your greatest service as a licensed real estate professional. Educate your past customers and prospects. Second, you need to make your own market by assembling a pool of the most qualified buyers that are pre-approved and poised to make winning offers. Third, and arguably most importantly, you must build your own listing inventory by educating prospective sellers about the unique opportunity they have to sell their homes for unprecedented premiums. To help you build your own listing inventory, we have created the Time Is Now 17-year cycle marketing campaign. This campaign includes direct mail cards, My Weichert email templates, social media posts, and door hangers equipped with QR codes. In addition, on May 1st, we will launch our latest version of the We Do It All Guaranteed program that will feature a separate $5,000 seller closing date guarantee. I urge you to leverage this campaign and the seller guarantee to make your own market by creating your own supply. It is without question the best possible strategy you can implement to ensure your business not only survives, but thrives during these market conditions. In closing, I want to address the one objection that I hear most often from sales associates. I can't create listing inventory because my sellers have nowhere to go. While there's a real shortage of homes for sale in our market areas, it is also a fact that sellers have never been more flexible, more mobile, more agile, and more opportunistic than they are today. Prospective sellers have a myriad of options available to them, including downsizing, right-sizing, relocating, or renting, to name a few. Our job as real estate professionals is to educate our customers and let them decide. The worst mistake you can make is not telling your past customers and prospects about what may very well be an opportunity of a lifetime. The time to protect your business is now. Happy prospecting.
I can't get it to stop. Hear your feedback. I need my glasses. It is a new computer. That's why it works. Yeah. Okay. I wanted to get that out. Okay. There we go. All right. We're gone with that. So what do you guys think about that? Anybody have any feedback or questions? Anything? No? I thought it was a great message. I really thought it was a great message. And he obviously verbalized it very well, what the feeling is going on in the market and, you know, moving forward with the being at the height of the market versus what that means compared to what it meant in the past, when that meant the market was going to crash and we were going to see home values plummet and all those things, which we don't feel we're going to see this time, which is what the experts are saying. Good for you, Jerry. So great stuff that we have. And this is some of the initiatives we have. So if you haven't seen these yet, we have the new door hangers. One side is the 17-year cycle. The other side is sell now, move later. Okay. So it's so funny. The other day, I got an email from the head of marketing, and they said, Missy, we saw, I was driving down Mount Pardis, and I saw all of the homes had door hangers on them. How amazing. Can you please tell me who did it? And so Deb was, I think, in Laura's office. And I said, Deb, because I knew Deb and Kelly had went out this weekend in Mars Plains and put out door hangers. And they said, no, not on Mount Pardis. So my next thing was Peter, and then I was going to Eric. I already had a list in mind of where I was going. And I got to Peter, he said, yes, am I in trouble? And I said, no, in fact, it's the opposite for once. You did a great thing. that they noticed because they drove by and saw all our door hangers hanging out on Mount Partis. So again, it's a great way to get the word out. It's a great way in this environment to get in front of sellers, especially if you're walking. Like Friday's supposed to be like 71 degrees. What a great day to be out and about and people out doing their yards, their lawns, and you have conversations with people, right? Because the one thing I do hear from agents is they love being face to face. They don't want to make phone calls. They don't want to do this or that, but they love being face to face. It's a great way to be face to face. People are so nice when you're in front of them versus when they're on the phone. They're so nice. They love to talk. They want to hear what's going on in their market. They want to hear what's going on in their neighborhood. So,
You know, Missy, and it's a 5,000.
no, Missy's holding.
The
Yes.
deal worked well.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Everybody should take advantage of that. So here's, so this is, the message. And then there's actually, I handed this out a few weeks ago to you guys. If you didn't get one, let me know, but I handed one out a few weeks ago. And then it had the sell now, move later, if you're gonna go on an appointment, and then the 17-year cycle. But on the back of the 17-year cycle is the explanation that Aram just gave. Okay, so it shows you a chart. So if you wanted to share, if your client said, well, tell me more about that. And you would like, uh-oh, now what, right? You could share this right here. So it goes over the timeline of the 17-year cycle. So everything is right here for you. And I think a lot of people are very interested in hearing that. I'll give you one. They're in my office. I gave them out a few weeks ago at the sales meeting, so people have them. So just make sure you're taking advantage of that and getting the word out. So another thing I wanted to share with you, which is instant inventory. So a few of the offices in our region had done a calling session, a handwritten note session. Okay, I tried to do that. I reached out to people on the weekend, and one person came in. So that was basically what I got. So anyway, they came in. They wrote handwritten notes to the neighborhood, or actually, they didn't write the notes in there. They wrote the envelopes in there. So what they did was, they put together a letter, and here's some sample letters for you, so you don't have to recreate the wheel. And they hand wrote on white envelopes, which I'm gonna have Savannah order us some just plain white envelopes. Your personal address, if you're sending it out to neighbors in your town, right? Because you want people to know that you live in that town. If you don't, you can use whatever, I don't know. But I wouldn't use the office address, is what I'm saying. I wouldn't use the office address. You want to just write a handwritten note, and you want to write your address on the top, and people are going to open it. So I was saying, right after this came out in the managers meeting last week, on Saturday, a letter came in the mail, handwritten to my husband, and then it had a handwritten address from Randolph on top. And I open all the mail generally anyway. So I open it, and it was a lined piece of paper, notebook paper, with handwriting. I mean, literally, the whole page was filled. It was from Jehovah's Witnesses, but the fact is, I read that whole damn thing. I read that. I should hire them. You're right. Unless you go to the event that they were creating. You're absolutely right. But I mean, it got my attention. Like everything else I put aside, except for that one, because I was in a rush. I was running out somewhere, but I'm like, oh, let me see what this is, because it was handwritten. So it does work. People will open it and read it. So it's just about what your message is and how you're going to put it together. So next week I would like to do a handwritten note session after the meeting. We'll have whatever it is that you need, and we'll get some handwritten notes out there. And so some of the successes. So the Hamburg office, she is a big Buffini follower, I guess is the proper word. And so she had put together some of her Buffini stuff for her handwriting session. And these are some of the reasons why she was doing it. It's awakening the dormant seller, because maybe they don't know what's going on, or maybe they're afraid, or they just don't have enough knowledge. You want to duplicate every listing that you have, right? You want to continue to get listings. You want to befriend a FSBO. You want to build a bridge to your contractors. right? There's so many different people you can write to and reach out to and network with. Harvest old leads, leverage your buyers, revive expired listings, treasure hunt the neighborhood, utilize geo marketing, which is like if you're going to farm a specific neighborhood, right? And execute the fundamentals. And these are the fundamentals. Basic real estate 101 is writing handwritten notes, is making phone calls, is all those things, right? So again, it's about doing the small things, getting back to basics and being more proactive so that we can get the listing inventory that we want, right? You all complain about running around with buyers. You have so many buyers and they've been outbid so many times. When you're on the listing side, it's a lot easier in today's world, right? Now, absolutely, absolutely. Right. Right. Well, so what some agents did was what I share with you in the packet, the first page is one letter that went out, and then the remaining pages are 3 pages that went out together. Okay. I just stapled them just so I could, it was easier to hand out. But again, that's some information to provide to your clients. And some people did it in this format and some people hand wrote notes. I mean, it's really, again, about what was important to you, what you want to do, how much time you want to put into it, I guess is what I'm saying. I've seen them and that's good. So you could maybe put that message in writing and write it out versus sending out that moving forward, right? I mean, it depends again, because you can't do 100 or 500 of those, right? It's going to be 10, 20, 25 of people that you want to get in touch with. And then I also mentioned a few weeks ago about doing the listing presentation, leave behind to people who you've been speaking with and you want to get off the fence. So that's someone who's like you're already in contact with, you're trying to get them off the fence. That's something else. But again, so I had my accountability team or associates that attend that on Thursdays. I had them do this. Thursday, I asked them to send out, I think I just asked them to send out 10 for the week. And Kevin Gaffney got in touch with me yesterday that he got a call back from one of the letters he sent, and he has a listing appointment. He just sent it. Well, he might have sent more, but yes, he didn't send more than 25. So let me share with you their numbers. Let me share with you. So this is just the letter. Did you hear the good news, which I've shared with you? Okay. You want to be the mayor of your neighborhood, right? You want to be the mayor, meaning you want to make sure everybody knows who you are. What are some of the functions a mayor does? I know in some places, in some towns, they have a walk with the mayor on a Saturday morning, right? There's different things you can do that you can get in touch with people and you can reach out. It's something that maybe that you like to do, right? But the mayor is someone everybody knows because they're always giving out information about the town, and there's someone who is easily or hopefully easily reachable. So that's what your goal is, to be the mayor of the town. And this is the letter that I share with you that they sent out. So in the Hamburg office, out of 12 agents who participated in the program in February, over 300 letters sent, 144 were handwritten. Again, that's your preference. 17 listings and counting have been generated from these campaigns. 17-year cycle flyer was added to the letter as an item of value, built into my.Wiker platform, and followed up with emails, text, notes, and given out to open house guests. QR codes were inserted into all materials, which is huge. And door knocking campaigns coincide with the areas that were farmed. So the plan is, if next week we're going to do the handwritten notes, then the following week we're going to door knock those neighborhoods. We're going to go out as a group, or we'll all separate and do that. So again, it's just the weather's getting nicer. It's a great time to get out. We're in the second quarter of the year, and we really want to make sure we're building that pipeline every single day. That's a great way to do it.
Wednesday, I should have everything out. And if I do, I hope to help you guys.
Well, you're going to do your own. Everybody's going to send out with their own to their own neighborhood or their buyers. Oh, yes, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Carol.
Not me, but somebody else. It was a letter now saying that they wanted to do a group email with all the people in my zone the staff and.
So more than that, people that were recruited on the email.
They want an email, but it doesn't start in the name.
Yeah, but they wanted to send out an email.
They want to do something for a group, like a group chat for everybody in my, and it came from someone, it wasn't a real, but, I mean, if somebody else in this town, for their farm area, I wasn't.
Yeah. The Randolph residents one gives me anxiety. I can't even look at it. Oh my God. People have way too much time on their hands. They complain about everything. It was the first one. It should have been the first. Yeah, the top one is that good news one. Yes, correct. That's the one the Hamburg one. The other one was a Morristown office agent that he shared with us. So that packet was from a Morristown agent. But again, just getting ideas of us to get together. Number one, to get, we can get lunch. We could do whatever, and come in, write out the envelopes, write out the letters, get them out there, and just, start growing our business.
First time I've done something like that. And usually, it seems so simple, it's really not. Especially when you're doing a mass.
Well, you have to be consistent too. Like, so it's not a one and done thing. So like sending it out, whatever you're gonna do right now is then making sure those people are in your CRM, that you've noted in there that you've sent out something to them. Then follow-ups like they said here on the past thing. When we follow up by email, text, notes, giving out to open house guests, like, so it's, and then door knocking in that neighborhood. So it's, that's why you have to really be, and I want to give everybody a week to think about specifically, where do you want to start that campaign? Do you want it to be in your neighborhood? Do you want it to be in a neighborhood you did a lot of business in? Do you want it to be in a neighborhood that one of your buyers has not been able to get an opportunity in? Whatever you think works for you, put that together and we can get everything else from there. So I think it would be nice. So this was Jason's office in Morristown when he did it a few weeks ago. They all came in and did their notes. Yeah. I know. That was close. That was very close. So March Company Awards. So these are company-wide awards. And so I'm really excited to be able to share this because an agent in our office made top agent in the company, number 2 and number 4, and two of the different things that we do. So number 1, Aram made number 2 in dollar volume, company-wide out of 7,000 agents in the company. Just think about that. Just think about that, right? Yes. That's why she's not here this morning. She had to run and get a CO and do this, and I don't know. She wore me out just telling me all the stuff she had to do. And then number 4 in revenue units for the month, again, out of 7,000 agents. And this is company-wide, not just regional-wide. So that's really huge. So everybody knows Eileen Scott. She's been very busy. A lot of these names you've seen and you know from the area. So some office updates. So the commercial division has finally moved in. If you have not already, go back there and introduce yourself. Jim Sousa is the president. His office is back there. I believe one of the vice presidents is back there.
How far? Because I know
Where Jackie's office was in the back, right in the back of our office. So they're really great people. Please introduce yourself. You all have commercial questions. You all have all these great things. Make sure you're reaching out to them. Now you have a resource right there. I wish that they were there actually before. I wish they were in the referral department all this time because that would have been a good resource for us to have right next door. Like really would have been great. So anyway, great group of guys. They're, you'll see them coming in our front door now because they're accessing, so be friendly, introduce yourself, get to know them. That's a good. They all want food. Yeah, we could do that. I will ask them to do that, maybe either next week or the following week, since everybody will be back from vacation. So yes, I will actually do that. It's a great idea, Carol. So I wanted to ask your opinion on something. You know how we're sending out the McDonald region coming soons and exclusives each day, and everybody loves them? It's really helpful. The Madel region sent me theirs yesterday, so I could send that out in addition. Okay, it's not going to be combined. There's no way to combine. The Madel region is Basking Ridge, like that part of New Jersey, going into like I want to say Morristown in that area, and PA. But there was two in, I believe, Basking Ridge yesterday, which I know a lot of people have worked in Basking Ridge. You know, so obviously it's only going to be 5 or 6. It's not like you have to go through 100 of listings. But again, it just opens it up to other areas that you may have clients working in. So I'm going to send them out as well. That whole area. So this way I'll send them out to you guys. I just don't want you to be overwhelmed and stop looking at emails. That's what I don't want to happen. That's what I want to ask you. Because I know how much you love to read my emails every day. I know how you pay attention to everything. So,
the schools are listed in KB Core. I don't see them in KB Core.
so KV Core has an exclusive listing tile, yes, but people weren't going on it. So agents weren't using that as a resource.
So it's not.
So it's still there, but the daily coming soon updates are real time. That's what everybody's looking at now. They wanted something more real time, like our new listing alerts that are populated through the MLS. You know how you get that, you were getting that email for years and years. We've now made that as a coming soon exclusive one, so that you know what's coming on ahead of time. If you have a client looking, you know, that's the value of being an agent in a big office. Now you can call your client and say, I know something that's coming on, it hasn't hit the market yet, right? So that's a real value to a buyer in this market. So
Everybody has the possibility to update KB Core or
no, forget about KV Core. Forget about the exclusive listing tile. You could still put it in there if you want, but if you get listing paperwork and it's going to be exclusive or coming soon, you send it to Savannah. You send her a photo of the front of the house. She's going to ask you, do you want it on the email? Because some people are holding things for a month or so and don't want it out there yet, or whatever the case. You say yes, she will submit it and it will be on that day. So it's just more real time. It's easier for the agents to look instead of going in there and trying to find, you know, if an agent put it in, if it's still available, if it's not available. That was the challenges people were having, that things were no longer available, but they were still there because nobody took them off. So yes.
Just one picture and no visual tools. So it's
Ask the boss. You send it to Silvana, like you would send your paperwork, and then she'll send it to our regional VP's assistant, and she puts together that email every day by 4 o'clock. Okay.
Is there a way, because there's other regions, like the Madel region, sometimes, you know, like somebody might get a flyer up, you know, Rockaway, they might get a house. So is there any other regions that serve us that might get listings in our area?
The Albanese region, I would think would be the other one. So I'm assuming that's going to be the next one that's shared with us again. And I don't know if they have a way, or if they're looking for a way to put that all into one email versus having us send out multiple ones. But right now it's going to be multiple emails. That's why I just was asking if that was, you know, if that was something that you guys would like. And then events committee. So prior to COVID, Carol and Gloria were the head of our events committee. We had started it that year and it went really, really well, because agents would then be the ones who would sign up to chair a certain event, and then they would be in charge of getting people to bring things or sign up. And again, it's just your time really, because anything that you put out of your pocket, we're going to reimburse. So you don't have to put money out of your pocket. I don't want anyone to think it's a financial thing. It's just more of a time thing, and you guys talking to one another behind the scenes and getting people to come. Because when it comes from me all the time, then people are like, well, if I get there, I get there. If I don't, I don't. It's not as much of a, you know, an event, I want to say, for them. So we want to put something like that back together. So if anybody's interested in being part of that, let me know. Chairing an event, hosting an event, you know, being part of the committee, anything that's coming up in the community, putting that together, things like that are really important. So I would really appreciate that. That really went really, really well. Those parties were awesome. And then the Pure Gold Spring Summer newsletter is out, so I always like to share it with you because your clients get this. So I'm going to share with you exactly. So I'm going to actually send you a copy of it today, so you'll see exactly what they got. Let me go back here for a minute.
Laura, do you have, like, is that emailable?
So this is what it looks like, what I get. So this is what I'm going to share with you today. So I guess could this become emailable, or is it? No, this is your Pure Gold. So everybody knows that when you have a buyer side transaction, $25 comes out of your commission check. And for the following 5 years, we follow up with your clients on your behalf. So you get those little cards in your mailbox and you fill them out and already has a stamp on it, you send it out. This is a newsletter. There's two newsletters a year, spring, summer, and fall, winter. So prior to, I guess, me coming here, nobody ever share with you because they only share with me what the newsletter looks like. So I just try to stay on top of it. I just got the email this week. This is the newsletter, and I will attach it to the meeting slides today so you can see exactly what went out. And I guess the question to Laura is, can that be made into an email template so that that you guys can then email out to other people as well? Because again, this just goes out to the buyer side transaction, not listing side, only buyer side. Okay. So this is just an example of what it looks like. And obviously it's branded to you, each and every one of you, whoever it's coming from. So they did a really nice job. And again, I just wanted to share that with you. That's not what I wanted to do. Over here. Okay. No, just the buyer for a sales transaction. So again, if that's something you want to do and Laura is able to put that together for you, you can email it out, So our scavenger hunt is next week, next Wednesday at 3 o'clock. We have a group of people that have volunteered to have fun with us, but anybody's welcome to come. We'd love to help. It's for prizes. It starts at 3 o'clock. They're going to send me a link, and we're just going to be running around trying to find all the different things that they're requesting about us. We really don't know what it's like, but we just know it's going to be fun. It's a whole record company, and it's office against office and department against department. So our office runs as one whole team, and the Morristown office runs as one whole team, and the accounting department runs as one whole team. And so whoever signed up is going to be the one. That's the team.
We have 6 people yet?
We have 10 people. We have 10 people.
So you can more than one?
No, but you can all help it. Our team, listen, there's one prize for the team. There's one prize. So the more people here, the funner, the more fun it will be. I don't think funner is a word, but
And they may say, show me a like soul driver.
like a Jimmy Bucks thing. Well, so Carol today came out with this artifact from Jim Weicker. She goes, do you want to raffle this off? I said, no, I don't. I want it for the scavenger hunt next week, just in case they ask for it. We're collecting things now. We're collecting things now. What? No, because we don't know what they're asking. We have no idea what they're going to ask us for. No, it's going to be in the office. Yeah, it's in the office. It's in the office. Well, what's the difference? Well, we can have some people in the background. It'll be fun. Yeah.
If we win, why don't you allocate the money we win towards the events committee so they have a budget?
Woohoo! Okay. We'll do that. The first event will be a big one. All right, we really got to win, people. So some office training events that are coming up is the regional Linebacker training. So it's Thursday, April 28th. No, listen. Just go on advance then if you're past intro. Just go on advance and you'll be fine. Well, the intermediate one is the one that Laura does every other Monday. So we do have one. Yeah. So this is that they've now split it up. 9 a.m.s are advanced and 1 p.m. are intros. You can attend both. Scan to register. And then Laura's week 5 is coming up this Monday, April 25th at 1 p.m. Creating a free Google business page, huge. Everybody should have a Google business page. People are going on Google to find people. Everybody Googles. I Google all day long. I freaking Google. That's all I do. I'm watching a movie and before the end, it says based on a true story. I'm Googling it because I want to see what happened, right? That's all we do. So everybody should have a Google business page.
What is it?
Come on Monday at 1 o'clock and you will find out. Creating a listing presentation and using playbooks to promote your listing. All great stuff. So this is a really good one. Everybody should be at this one. And then I'm going to start new agent trainings Tuesday at 1 p.m. And that's going to be in person only. That's going to be for our new agents that signed up. But obviously anybody can attend anything. So I'll send you out what the sessions are going to be on. Yes, the topics. Thank you, Nancy. And so that you guys know, and obviously anybody can attend. And then our dual career agents, I'm going to do Thursdays or Mondays. And again, I'll put that together ahead of time via Zoom at 6:30 at night. And again, we're going to go over a lot of the new stuff too, or things that are, just keep people, on top of whatever's going on. Listing presentations, buyers consultations, GeoSimilas, Remind, all that good stuff. So Anthony, I'm sick of talking. Believe it or not.
Good morning.
I'm trying to sell a piece of property and I needed an amortization schedule on 2 ways that this guy was gonna go. So Anthony did it all for me. I got 2 really nice packages of everything was gonna be with 25% down and 25-year payout, due in a certain amount at 6% and 6.5%. And when I brought it all over to the guy, I said, really work hard on this. He said, yes, I
Yes,
did.
you do.
We're not
Carol was leading on it, like, are you done, Nick? She's like, I need it like right now.
Our expectations are here. I realize that there's no in between with Carol.
Let me stop. What can you do? All right, we got a market update here. On economic data was released in the consumer and wholesale inflation, and the numbers keep coming in hot. These strong numbers were expected and did not affect the market significantly. Retail sales were reported moderately higher, in line with expectations. The rate roll. Rates eased up a bit during the week, but rose towards the end of the week and rise in all weeks so far this week. Fed members continue to focus on containing inflation, and the markets are expecting a 0.5% increase in the Fed's discount rate at the meeting. What's happening this week? This week will be more Fed speeches, the economic data will be centered upon the real estate market, with releases on housing starts. That number is even higher. Yeah, that number is already higher than what it was when the slides came out. I think we're probably more like 5.25 right now. I was actually in the email yesterday. And that's just real world what we're dealing with right now too. You know what's even crazier too? I don't have a point. But look at the 15-year fix in the mid-4s, right? Usually that was always a much further distant number, the 15-year versus the 30-year fix. Those numbers are really kind of close to that, which is kind of weird to see as well. Market, it's really challenging right now. I heard this talk about on Mastermind too as well. Like, people are still losing deals. People are still going with lenders. Deals are still getting denied out there, sadly. We've been talking about this stuff for eons, but these buyers are choosing lenders that you've never heard of. Many of you run to me for assistance and help. What supply is it's inflation.
Now they have less money to borrow.
They're looking at less price homes. That's inflation. And they're continuing to go that route. I mean, we'll see if there's a ceiling on this and it passes off it and it comes in a direction. But this is just what things are trending currently right now. So buying power for me, if you were looking 6 months ago, it's much less down. And for some people, they were at their max at that point too as well. And now they have to look at different price points because people are offering homes going way above. Now the challenge they want to do is they have to look at much lower. It's a challenging market, and then we put, the icing on the cake with appraisal waivers, inspection waivers all across the board. I mean, it's, you're putting people in a very uncomfortable position. Many buyers that are strong financially are still willing to go and realize and understand, and they have to do it for personal reasons and they're buyers. But you have some people that are still renting at home and going, I don't know, what do? Maybe it's not the right time for me. So it's a tough chess game that you got to kind of play, and you got to kind of find out what's really important to people. Because it's just one of those things. Like I spoke to a buyer yesterday, and they have a home to sell. It's really a contingency transaction. I determined that they don't need to actually sell to buy, but they don't have the 200 grand in the house that they want to put down on a new purchase. They have about 5%. So I'm like, well, the good thing is you can go in with no contingency. However, the bad thing is it's just not a return that they're looking for. So what's important here? You either have to list your house for sale, get a buyer, try to negotiate a lease back on your own home, right? So now you have your cash, now you're in a position to move forward, but that's not always a given. You might go through a lot of potential buyers on that property to be able to navigate that, so that's also a tough thing. And I explained to the buyer or the seller too as well, that the challenge you run into is, what do you do? You have to, cow tip to someone and give them favorable terms. You might have multiple offers where maybe the highest one is not the one you can accept because the person that's maybe at a lower numbers will only give you 90 days to find a house, right? And do something that way. So there's give and take all across the board right now on everything. So again, I'm spending a lot of my time with a lot of consultants. Yeah, Jack.
We created contingency last week where they sold the home and rented it back to the seller. Until they.
That's a lease back.
Yeah, that was, I thought it
You
was.
have to find that right buyer that's willing to do so. So keep in mind, think of the time we're right now, going into May. What happens towards the end of the summer for most people that are closing with families? You got to register kids for school. I said to my customer yesterday, because they were debating whether or not do I wait another couple months and then list, try to time things a little bit. I go, but think about it. You could lose part of the market of potential buyers because people might say, I'll give you 30 days, but I got to register my kid by August 15th. And they're like, shit, I didn't think of that. You know what I mean? So that's all super important also.
We're able to lock in the rates, they lock in the deal, they lock,
Well, when they close, they just have to be able to find something.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Are we going to see, like, are they going to see more sellers giving points to the buyer to knock down that interest rate?
I haven't seen any of that yet, but
Yeah, concession.
whether it's a dollar amount version or a form of points, that would be something that a seller would be willing to potentially do that way, but I haven't seen.
Buyer might qualify for that house. You might be able to pay that much more money for the house, but at a lower interest rate.
I would still personally consider 5%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all say that. We all, yeah.
It's a bit of a.
Relatively speaking, it is a low rate. If you were pre-approved last year at this time, you were locked in at 2.9%. That's the difference. So if someone didn't get a house and they were at 2.9 versus 5.25, it's huge. Right, they're not in a bidding war like they were last year. Yes, you're right. It's a wash, I think, in a lot of times.
I haven't seen any issues. Me personally, every buyer I have is put $1 million over, 1,000 offers. I haven't seen the potential shift yet of less buyers per property. Could be.
I feel that more buyers, from what I hear from you guys, are backing out. So they're putting in these high offers, they're sleeping on it and realizing they don't want, whatever reason, and they're backing out. So the listing agents are going through 1, 2, 3, 4 backups on it.
I think it's because they're putting offers on multiple properties.
that's huge too, Eric, because I mean, I hear it up with my own buyers. They're like, oh yeah, I need 3 pre-approvals. For what? They're like, we're offering 3 different houses. I'm like, holy smokes, you gotta be kidding me. But the other thing is too as well, you know, it's giving people time to digest whether or not everything I went over, they didn't have time to really evaluate or think about it. If they're making a decision, the husband and wife wasn't able to get to the listing at the time when they were making the offer. They just wanted to do it. I mean, so there's a lot of all that kind of going on. I could definitely hear from many of you where offers are going in, and then I'm calling to validate the pre-approval on behalf of your seller. And when I call the lender, I'm like, hey, the Smiths made an offer on 123 Main Street over the weekend, and they have no idea about the offer. I'm like, oh, and by the way, do you know there's flood insurance for $2,000 or whatever? And he's like, I didn't know that either. And you could just see the sweat pouring through the phone of the lender that I have to now go to you and say, I think you're in good shape to still make it. Or can you please call your potential customer and find out if the payment that's now $300 more a month, because that's sometimes in their budget. And believe me, I'm hearing the calls from back that the offer got, you know, or they decided to go with a different one. They were leaning towards that. So there's a lot of that kind of happening too as well. You know, people are just running around with that 3-month-old pre-approval. Now when it comes to go time, they connect back with their lender. They're like, what, the payment's $460 more a month? Like it's just not where we want to be.
One of the last months observations that I find was that they needed a pre-approval that was within the last 14 days.
Yeah.
That was part of their.
Where was I saw that's a smart plan. You guys should be adopting something like that too as well. It'll reel that right back in. Did you make sure they spoke to that your lender in recent months? Because you can use that as a perfect example. Control that value. Absolutely smart.
Because she's really smart. She's super smart.
So our clients know live time what's going on. This is overly the most important. So Glenn, you heard me mention this a little while back. This is more about software for us for operations, but it has actually an agent portal to it, if you would. You know, many of you guys are familiar. Some of you guys use it, not everybody, but are familiar with like the mobile phone app that we have, right? It's kind of like a big business card on steroids. You guys have it on your phone. You share it to your clients. I get the alert. You put your notes in, all this kind of stuff like that. Blend actually has a very similar position in that. So I don't know if the website or the app that I have, it will stay in existence because this software works with much more than that versus its own standalone card. But Blend itself has its own features that works very similar to that. And what happens is you can actually set up alerts where you're getting updates on their pre-approval. So if you're meeting a customer in an open house and you're just as you planned on submitting or sharing the app, you could say, hey, listen, I'm going to share the app with my lender, Anthony. By the way, you can do the pre-approval right here now. They can do that from the app too as well currently. Many don't typically. It's more of just the lead referral, if that makes sense. But this is kind of taking things to another step where then you're more live time of kind of what's going on in their stage of doing the pre-approval. Yeah, Joe.
This is all through Liker, right?
This is a third-party system, if you would. But it's something that, you know, I could obviously get people on board if they want.
Is it just blend.com?
No, it's something separate. So it's you guys have set that up. But this is again just more adoptive technology. It's what people are looking for and wanting. It's not for everybody, you know, there's more technology, not more onus on you, but now you're getting more updates on what's going on. For some people, they may like it. For some people, it might be too much. Some people just might not be good with it, right? So it's just kind of one of those things. More to come on that. I mean, I've been using this for a while now, the whole operation system, but just options for where, you know, you're entering the person's information in, it's getting sent out to the customer, and the customer's getting lifetime updates, I am too as well. You're actually able to, this is scary a little bit, I'm not totally sold on it. Once the pre-approval is done, technically on a Sunday night, if you wanted to, you could actually go into the portal yourself and actually request an updated pre-approval on your own. And you would say, how the hell am I doing that, right? Yeah. You're not really putting it in, it's all in there. They've already entered everything. So they've already qualified. No, this is more of like an operation. No, so nothing's getting sold there. It's more just an operation system. There's no like real estate end to this. Well, it's more of like a capturing application system. So all this stuff gets fed into another system that I utilize. And once it's done, and issued with approval, technically you can go in there and update it yourself. Not the customer's information, but plug and play, like I want to adjust the pre-approval purchase price. You can go in there, click a button, and actually run findings in the back end, and then you would have a pre-approval right then and there, where you're not bothering the customer, not bothering me. I'm not totally sold on that, but the company, again, just evolution of technology. This is what a lot of things are going on right now.
Wow. I feel like you got to talk to the person.
And I'm totally with you too as well. Again, it's just more convenient, if that makes sense.
Want to talk to a person, they want to go on their phone, they want to fill everything out, they want to get updates that way, that's the way. It's just what your preference is.
I'm sure.
Technology makes mistakes. I mean, I hear stories all the time. They go on Rocket's website at 12 o'clock at night. They don't speak to a person. They enter all their information and they get a pre-approval email to them. Meanwhile, they've never ever spoken to one person, period. Like, I'll never allow that to happen, but just additional software, additional technology that, this is kind of the way of working.
You're a mortgage calculator on it.
Oh, it certainly does.
Hey, I mentioned mortgage insurance is built on there.
This stuff will follow the transaction all the way to the right.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and then you'll get like live alerts with it too as well. Okay. We talked about the Do It All Guarantee Program. It's modifying and changing as of May 1st. So as of May 1st, not only is the buyer eligible for $5,000 if the loan is made from our capacity as well as the lender, now the seller gets the same benefit of $5,000. So we're talking about $10,000 of like a built-in insurance that if I was an agent as of May 1st writing up a contract and they were pre-approved with me, I would be putting on there buyer qualified with Micro Financial, seller eligible for a $5,000 credit, closing credit at closing, if lender doesn't. There'll be flyers. Sorry? Brand X listing, just us all involved on our side.
So let's say the seller's like, I need a hard closing date on this day because I have to close on another house on that day. They're gonna feel more confident that if they don't close because of the lender, that they also get $5,000. So $5,000. But what will be going away is.
With that change, because they feel that that's more advantageous to the buyer, is the $500 credit. I just feel like I think they thought that it's not a big needle mover for them, but this is what the buyers need right now. So,
It's more simplified. I think they feel this is more simplified. People can understand. Exactly.
Your sellers, you have to enter the information.
not the seller, just the buyer side. The buyer side, you're gonna fill out, the loan will be triggered as eligible, just like we do now. At that point, they're registered, so the transaction is registered. But keep in mind, if the seller calls up and they look for closing, like, I can't close right now, I need another week, everything changes. They're not eligible for the program anymore.
Only if it's on the limit, Micro Financial holds up the closing.
Correct, it's only if they're registered for the program. That's on you guys.
And hire these like a little program before May 2nd, or it just.
So it hasn't rolled out yet. I don't know how it works with people that have already been enrolled, like, already. I think if they're enrolled, I would imagine they're enrolled in this.
Yeah, it's staying the way it is.
Buyer who could be registered over the old program.
I would think being that they're registered, they're just registered. So, like, I don't think they have to be registered after May 1st. So it's everything's kind of like covered. So this was this week's one. Are we ready for the question?
Yes.
If a VA buyer has already used their eligibility to purchase a home, they purchase another home using VA financing. A, no, they can never purchase another home using VA financing. B, yes, but the VA funding is higher. C, yes, but they must restore existing eligibility by paying off their present loan through sale of refinance or having enough partial guarantee to use their VA again without paying off the loan. D, or C.
I'm actually, this is where I believe it's based, and I was veteran. And, but, don't get me wrong, I'm just.
What did you say, Lenny? D, you said? Oh. You said C?
I'm gonna say, because that's what I know.
It's only 25,000. But they have a seat left.
Well, if they use it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so if they use it and they're trying to purchase a VA loan again. You can answer those questions.
Come on, Carol, you're the freaking expert of it. Mm.
So the answer? C. The answer is D, B, and C. Yes. you can-
Yeah. We never doubted you, Lenny.
Must
We never
restore
doubted.
eligibility. So timing all of that with VA to VA is a little challenging. If you're selling a house and trying to simultaneously close shortly after that, you have to wait for that eligibility to restore. Sometimes there's like a day or two lag with the VA, so there's always that little bit of a chess match that we have to dance around. You should, I'm glad you didn't say that, should we get the cat out of the bag?
I know, right.
Yeah, you could, use the VA as many times as you need, no matter where you're going. However, they don't like having two VA loans all out. Same thing with it. Okay, so we have another question here. I might not have the answer for it.
I know the answer.
What did the 30-year mortgage rates average in 2006, which was the peak of the last real estate?
I know it's.
No, it was at me. The answer is C, 6.4. So again, the same market that we're in now, basically except for the low inventory portion. The interest rates are really, the interest rates are still good if you think about it that way, right? If you share it with your clients that way, then they'll feel like they're getting a bargain. Yeah, rates were higher than today during the past real estate boom. So here's our absorption rate. Again, 1 month absorption or less in all of our surrounding towns. I mean, everything is pretty much status quo. Each week we see the same numbers over and over again. Nothing really changed. I could probably do it once a month and it probably wouldn't see a different, a real change in anything. So new exclusive listings on the market. I'm going to announce one for Kim before I forget. She has 2 Memory Lane in Randolph coming on the market. I believe she said it was $725 or $750. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath colonial. And on a nice street. That's a really nice street, Memory Lane, if anybody knows it. Yeah, it's a cul-de-sac. Yep. Dennis Cassidy has an exclusive coming on, or an exclusive on right now that's not live. 19 Haddon Road in Parsippany at $385. So again, if anyone has anybody in that price point, I feel like that's a sweet price, a sweet spot for most of your buyers. Reach out to Dennis. I don't know anything about it. I don't hear him. I don't hear Dennis. I don't hear Dennis. Mara has an exclusive at 51 Mount Kemble in Morristown, which is a condo. I think it's 3 bedrooms, one and 1/2 or 2 baths. Again, follow up with her for more information about pricing and when that property is coming on the market. And then some coming soons. Vin has 35 Patriots Road in Parsippany coming on. I believe it hit the coming soon this week and it's going to be coming live Thursday or Friday and then open house Saturday and Sunday. That's a townhouse, yep. In Powder Mill. Lori Kaplan has 129 Fairview Avenue in Boonton at $625. She's at a home inspection this morning. Gloria LaForgia has 81 Reynolds Ave in Hanover at 88899. And then new listings, Bob Falzarano has 10 Banghart Place in Parsippany at 295. Again, another nice price point. Does anybody have anything else coming up? Priscilla?
It's a town hall in Morristown, right, Franklin Corners. So it's 2 bedroom, 2 bath, corner unit. We're pricing it like between 560 and 570. So 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's like the 3 levels with the spiral staircase. The top floor is the master, brand new bathroom up there. The kitchen was done a few years ago. It has a garage space, attached garage, a little outdoor space on the lower floor, and also like a deck on the second. 560, 570, I don't know exactly yet.
We looked at Alexandria when you were naming everything, and she's like, mhm. She confirmed everything for you. All right. Prospect Place in Montville, 350 from 399. Anyone else have anything new coming on you want to share? Any price reductions on the
Missy, can I talk?
horizon? Someone talking?
Missy,
Yeah, yes.
I have one coming up in Netcong, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 400, 410, I think we went with. A condo in Vernon in the Great Gorge section. Probably it'll be about 200,000, 2 bedrooms with a loft. And I have in the Hastings Square development in Washington and Morris County. That one's coming 3 bedrooms. I think it's 2.5 baths, really nice, finished basement, garage. That one is probably gonna be,
Washington Township, Long Valley.
yeah,
And what was the third one?
Vernon.
Vernon. So if you, yeah. So if you have anybody in those areas, reach out to her and get information. Megan, say hi to Megan. Everybody say hi to Megan. Everybody knows Megan from Tidal. In fact, I wanted to figure it out before, but it just got so hectic. Phyllis came into my office yesterday and she said she has a land deal going on, and she's like, these attorneys are awful. They haven't, she did a lot of intent, they wrote up the contract, it's just been a mess with everything. But she said, Megan is awesome. I called her, she called me right, she answered her phone, she got the title going, all that stuff, so. Everybody knows our Megan and Ashley. You could, they're interchangeable. You can call her Ashley, her Megan, you could call.
Probably like
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And it's 50-year guarantee on labor and owner. And it was also right. Anybody interested in hearing a presentation from him? It's from RJW Exteriors. 4.8.
They'll bring lunch, they'll come. They don't care what he's talking about.
And they also, I can't say everything, but I can't talk. But they offer a ventilation at the top and somewhere, so if you're upstairs, you know, you're always water. It makes your house.
Something with your cables and having, yeah.
Aruba, there you go.
No nails on your own. No nails. But yeah, if you're really good presentation.
Yeah, and we'll try to put something together. Yeah. When's your birthday, Eric?
May 13th, Friday the 13th.
You got Friday the 13th
When's
this
your
year?
birthday?
That's cool.
Who else is May? I'm May 9th.
Good month.
Surprisingly, we're short.
Wait, so Thomas, my mom is May 5th. Your Marty is May 21st. I'm trying to remember because I knew people are like close by. Yeah. That was worth their whole time here. You remember? Anyway, oh, I gotta pick this. We're here for a long time. What do you want?
Always
Sorry,
nice.
we went later. I'm not sure why, but all good.
No, I actually,